Tyson. Burbick comes back with a right hand. What a round.
In April, IBF title holder Michael Spinks escaped with a controversial win over Larry Holmes.
And there was a right hand by Holmes, and Spinks is in a world of trouble right now.
In July, WBA champion Tim Witherspoon traveled to London and crushed British challenger Frank Bruno.
10 seconds remaining, and Bruno is shook. And Bruno against the ropes in a corner is down.
In September, Michael Spinks retained his IBF title with a knockout of overmatched Stefan Tankstead.
Tankstead is just looking for a place to fall down.
In November, 20-year-old Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion ever by knocking out Trevor Burbick.
That was a right to the body and an uppercut to the head, and Burbick is down. It's over. That's all, and we have a new era in boxing.
Then in December in New York City, Bonecrusher Smith destroyed WBA champion Tim Witherspoon.
Witherspoon's still in trouble. Down he goes again, and now it's over.
So finally, we come to Las Vegas, Nevada to unify the WBA and WBC heavyweight titles tonight on HBO. WBC heavyweight champion Mike Tyson meets WBA champion James Bonecrusher Smith. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. They've manufactured an outdoor stadium in the Hilton parking lot. Ticket prices start at $75, up to $750 for a seat at ringside. The last time there was an undisputed heavyweight champion, Muhammad Ali lost his title to Leon Spinks in one of the most shocking upsets in heavyweight history. That was way back in 1978. The site? Indoors at this very hotel. 9 years later, Mike Tyson and Bonecrusher Smith will enter the ring with the WBA and WBC heavyweight titles on the line. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, along with Larry Merchant. Sugar Ray Leonard, well, he's on special assignment. You know, it's a little bit like the Old West. There's a new fastest gun in town. There's a whole bunch of guys just outside the door of the saloon waiting to take a shot at him. Tonight, the man who challenges Mike Tyson, as the old saying goes, wears a big hat and does have some cattle. Larry Merchant, it seems we've been talking about the unification of the heavyweight title for months here on HBO. Now it's actually a fact. There is no IBF champion now. Michael Spinks has lost that title, not in the ring, mind you. But this one, then, is for everything.
There'll only be one heavyweight champion after tonight, and what we're looking for tonight is a sort of a showdown in the KO corral. And I think the excitement generally here is because for the first time in many, many years, going way back to George Foreman and Joe Frazier, there are two sluggers fighting for the heavyweight championship. Everybody expects them to go out and slug each other until one of them, or maybe even both of them, falls down. You said you knew the importance of the fight.
Right.
Do you think you're ready to fight Mike Tyson if he beats Bonecrusher in the next fight?
That's right. I was waiting to the outcome of this fight, and now that I've proven myself and won this fight, I should be the next person to fight Tyson, and Tyson could come on and knock me out if he won, but I'm ready to fight him.
Vanna White, never buy a vowel. Words to live by. And here's Mike Tyson making his way toward the ring now. And that is a look, of course, that has struck fear in men's hearts. none down. 26 knockouts, 2 fights going.
All in 2 years, Barry. His first professional fight a year from last night.
This has been his longest layoff, 104 days, a totally insignificant number, I think. You know, all the stories of no robe, no socks. Says it makes him feel like a gladiator.
Sockless, but not punchless.
Has 5 knockouts in the first 30 to 50 seconds. And of course, as we said, a lot of people think this one is not going to go too far. You know,
the odds are 8 to 5, Barry, that the fight doesn't go past 4 rounds.
You know, one popular school of thought, Larry, is that you can't stand in front of Mike Tyson. You have to go side to side if you're going to have any chance at all against him. And of course, Bonecrusher Smith's history is to come straight ahead.
I would think that there's also a theory that if you're going to fight Bonecrusher Smith, you shouldn't go straight ahead. His advantage, obviously, is in his fast hands. And in the pressure he puts on opponents. There's been a lot of talk about pressure on a young man, being a champion, being so prominent. But it's the pressure he puts on opponents that's crucial.
Marvis Frazier, of course, one of 3 common opponents. Results similar amongst the bottom 2 that you see, but Marvis Frazier knocked out by Mike Tyson in 1 round. Smith lost a controversial decision in 10 rounds to Marvis Frazier, but when we talked to Bonecrusher Smith, he said that fight really turned his career around. It gave him a lot of confidence, and most important, it made him mad. Kevin Rooney,
30-year-old trainer.
And here is Bonecrusher Smith now making his way toward the ring. Both popular fighters, incidentally. I don't think you'll hear a lot of boos here.
In exchange for the right to come second into the ring, Bonecrusher Smith gave the right to the Tyson people to name the gloves they want. And interestingly enough, Tyson's gloves are Everlast gloves instead of Ray's gloves, because they feel Ray's gloves are the knockout gloves. There you see James Bonecrusher Smith's weights over in recent fights. He weighs 5 pounds more than he did when he stopped Witherspoon in the first round. He weighed 240 when he stopped Mike Weaver, another ex-champion, in the first round. He says he's lifted some weights since the Witherspoon fight to add strength to his shoulders because he wants to control Tyson from outside, he says.
And here comes Bonecrusher Smith now, being led by Emil Griffith, his handler, trainer.
Another point about those gloves, Barry, Jimmy Jacobs, the co-manager of Tyson, has been belittling the punching power of Smith all this time. But when it came down to the crunch, he decided he didn't want Smith to have the puncher's gloves. So that tells us what they really think. And then what to keep in mind here is nobody wants to fight a big slugger, not even other sluggers.
I think that's very true. As a matter of fact, he's a very intelligent guy and he's very eloquent, but when we talked to him about what he's going to do in this fight, he was very succinct. He said, I'm going to put some leather on his ass. Here's the tail of the tape, and Smith, of course, 13 years the senior of Mike Tyson. Otherwise, really not a lot to choose in these numbers. 14-pound.
The 11-inch reach is much discussed, but Tyson says when you go to fight a kid in the street, you don't ask how long his reach is. And here is punch stat again to give us a quantitative look at the number of punches Tyson and Smith throw in rounds. Roughly similar, but look how accurate Tyson is compared to Smith. Now here's a qualitative look at their punches. Tyson not only throws more hard punches, hooks and crosses, but lands significantly more of those punches. Again, attesting to his hand strength.
The dynamic duo, in association with the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel, presents the Super Fight, sponsored by Miller Lite. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Dwayne Ford, Chairman, Harold Buck, the Executive Director, the commissioners at ringside, Mr. Sammy Macias, Mr. Sig Rogic, and Mr. Herb Santos. The WBC representatives at ringside, the president of that body, Jose Suleiman, and the representative, Ray Clark. The WBA representatives at ringside, the president of that body, Gilberto Mendoza, and the representative, James Benz. The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the main event of the evening, The judges are Lou Tabbitt, Dalby Shirley, and Jojo Guerra. The timekeeper is Mike Licella. Counting at the knockdowns, Mike Morabito. The attending physicians at ringside, Doctors Donald Romeo, Flip Homansky, and Elias Ghanem. And your referee is Mills Lane. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unification of the WBC and the WBA heavyweight championships. Introducing, in the red corner, fighting out of Magnolia, North Carolina, weighing in at 233 pounds, with a professional record of 19 wins, 5 defeats, with 14 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, James Bonecrusher Smith. And in the blue corner, from Catskill, New York, weighing 219 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career with 28 wins, no defeats, 26 KOs. He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
All right. Emil, come in. Kevin. Okay, now, one step back, one little bit. Okay, now, we've gone over all the instructions in the dressing room, and if it's for the title, any questions from Mr. Smith or his chief second? Any questions from Mr. Tyson or his chief second? All right, let's get it on, come on.
You never know what's going to happen when a man gets hit harder than he's ever been hit before, and it's possible for both fighters here. This fight has already gone longer than some people expected.
Harold, how do you see it so far? First round. Tyson right on Smith's chest. Strong left jab by Tyson.
All right, don't push it all.
There's the first right hand by Smith. Nowhere near its mark.
It's also a straight right hand, and Smith will often come from right to left. Like that. Left to right.
Step back clean. Step back, don't push. Come on.
Tyson unloading on Smith. Counter-punching right hand.
Come on.
If you notice a tactic Smith is using, that he raises his arms and is trying to make Tyson punch around his arms, which is a long way to go for a much shorter man.
Come on, let's go.
So look for Tyson to try to come straight up the middle with an uppercut.
Three-punch combination, 2 of them landed heavily.
Step back. No, hold on. Come on, step back.
Although he's very aggressive, Tyson prides himself on also being a good defensive fighter. He hasn't been hit solidly very often.
Step back. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, man. Box. Come on. Step back, Mike. Step back. Step back.
Tyson does have to lunge up at him a little bit.
This hasn't turned into the train wreck everybody was looking for yet.
Smith is being very patient, actually.
I've never seen anything quite like that in the ring before.
Listen, you have to finish with that left foot. Understand? You don't throw one punch at a time. I want you to use the jab more. Every time you throw, you get it wrong. Jab, jab. Look, you like throw the hook to the body. You understand? Right hand, left hook. Always finish with a left hook to the head. And make it miss. Oh, levitate. Come on. On the shoulder. Crusher, go react on fucking side crusher. Don't close your eyes. Look at him and punch. Deep breath. You the jab first, Crusher. You hear me?
Step with it.
Take a look at what happened. The round is over a good 5 seconds. They've exchanged some words, and Tyson lost his cool. It's the first time I've ever seen him lose his cool before, during, or after a fight.
Very true. You know, another thing, too, in Smith's corner, you heard Smith say, let me have the towel down on my shoulders. And I don't know if you feel it, Larry, but there's all of a sudden a cool breeze coming through here. And a cut over the right eye of Bonecrusher Smith. We'll try to tell you how serious.
From. That's the same eye that Larry Holmes opened up. But I can't see as yet where it is.
Now, I said the right eye. It's the left eye of Bonecrusher Smith.
Step back. Step back.
A lot of blood, but the blood right at the moment does not appear to be going into the eye, but rather alongside it, very similar to that of Tyrell Biggs.
Tyson is unable to get off those Gatling gun combinations because Smith is just thwarting him and staying away and laying on him, using his big long arms.
And Mills Lane has deducted a point from Bonecrusher Smith for holding Mike Tyson.
Smith got in a good right hand. Tyson walked right through it.
And that's significant.
The blood is leaking into the eye right now.
Yeah, it is, and I was going to say one of the differences between this cut and the cut on Tyrell Biggs is that Tyrell Biggs was fighting David Bay and not Mike Tyson.
This is becoming a hitting and holding contest, not very appealing or dramatic.
And you hear the crowd start to boo. It's the first time I've ever heard a crowd boo at a Mike Tyson fight.
Got into Mike Tyson.
Give me that towel. You've got to move your hands.
Let's see it, Jimmy.
Not bad. You've got to move your hands, Crusher. Not bad. Crusher, got to move your hands. Throw the right hands, Crusher.
You dropped it out.
Holy shit.
Let's see if we can catch the butt that apparently caused this punch. Right there. Right there. There you see the blood starting to trickle already down the left eye.
1-2. 1-2, Crusher. 1-2. 1-2, Crusher.
In the corner. Oh, here we go.
Tyson has made Smith look very, very awkward. Just a big lunging fellow now against the speed of Tyson, who is a difficult target because of his size in any event.
Come on.
And that was indicated in the punch stat numbers that you saw a moment ago. Only 23% effectiveness for Bonecrusher Smith.
Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back, please.
It may be that Tyson is frustrated because he's been unable to land real combinations the way he does in the gyms and on most opponents. Smith is just fighting a defensive fight, and Tyson can't do anything. There you saw him coming around the arm once again, unable to get any leverage into his punches.
Tyson hit him a very good right hook a moment ago, and that really opened the cut up a little bit more. And there's no question but that the cut is bothering Smith, because the blood is getting in the eye.
When a fighter puts as much pressure on an opponent as Tyson does, his opponent often just becomes defensive. And Smith has done a lot of that.
Smith got another straight right hand in, but it's only one punch and having no effect whatsoever on Tyson. Smith, Larry, appears just to be trying to tee off and catch Tyson on the way in.
That's his puncher's chance. Right now, it doesn't look like much of a chance.
Come on, you guys.
Tyson seems to be headhunting as well. He should be working on the body. He's having a hard time getting all the way up to his head. He has to bring down his guard.
And he usually is a devastating body puncher. He seems to be fighting a more emotional fight than I've seen him fight.
Let's see him.
Not bad.
Okay.
Tyson's corner telling him to fight more. Emil Griffith, you heard him say jab, then cross. Cut right at the moment has not opened up again, and it's actually not directly above the eye. It's more up on the forehead, but enough so that the blood does flow into the eye. Little blood now from the cut. And now Bonecrusher Smith going backwards.
We thought neither one of these fellas had a reverse gear, but Bonecrusher has just showed us his.
Watch the head. Watch the head coming in. Come on, come on, come on.
There was a big right hand by Tyson.
Step back, right?
Smith has reduced Tyson to having to hunt for him with one shot rather than combinations.
Step back, come on, one step back.
Bonecrusher may be trying to take a little bit of a blow here in this round.
There's no way to train to fight like fighting a guy like Tyson with the pressure that he puts on you by keep coming at you. It's like a quarterback going against a Chicago Bear blitz. All of a sudden, everything is speeded up, and if you don't have the quickness of mind and hand to deal with that speeded up, suddenly you look like a rank amateur, which Smith looks like here.
And as you said, he's just walking through anything that Smith offers on the way in. There's no resistance at all. The dance continues here.
Listen.
Listen. Let me get myself together.
All right.
I'll be all right.
Oh, give me. But listen, you gotta knock him out to do it.
Oh, okay.
Don't wait.
Don't wait for the guy. He's only looking for one shot on him.
Now we'll see if he can. You're getting a good example right here of how Mike Tyson just does not allow Smith to get his punches off.
And that Mike Tyson is very quick. He sees these punches coming. They're not quick punches, and he's able to duck them very easily.
Smith saying to Tyson, come on, but
Step back clean, both of you. One step down, one step down.
that is merely words.
Smith appears totally confused and frustrated. That walkabout and this one right here, I have no idea what it's supposed to do.
All right, one step back, one step back, both of you. One step back, boys. One step back, Hayward. One step back, clean, both of you. One step back.
Unless Smith figures out something fast, his heavyweight reign will last 85 days, and that will be it.
And it doesn't appear really that Smith has a clue right at the moment how to solve this puzzle.
Come on, come on, Hayward.
There is another big right hand by Tyson. That's the first one that really backed Smith up. Not really what we expected, Larry.
Smith right now is fighting basically a fight for survival, throwing a few hard punches in the hopes of connecting and making something happen.
Double right hand that time by Tyson.
And he appears to be getting tired as well.
Locked in. One step clean. Clean ball. One step. Step back.
get it done. And a man in a black trunks is the reason for it.
Every great fighter has had fights in which an awkward opponent has made them look something less than great. I'm not saying Mike Tyson is a great fighter yet. He's a great young fighter. But he's just against an opponent here who's in there to survive and hold as he is now.
And I must say, Bonecrusher Smith is the one fighter I did not think would fight that way. Pretty good exchange there. One punch on both parts, though.
One step back, Mike. One step back. Come on. Move up, boy.
Bonecrusher just kind of taunting Mike Tyson, and I'm not sure why.
Tyson doesn't want to get on his chest and be held, so he's staying outside now, but with his short arms, he can't punch from outside.
I don't know, it might just be frustration on the part of Bonecrusher Smith. He hasn't been able to hit him the conventional way. Scratching me when you break us. There's a left hand. And now Tyson moves in.
All right, we step back, Smith. We step back, bro.
$750 ringside for this.
Pretty hard to believe. Could have gone to see Wayne Newton.
Step back, have to go. Whoa. Get off that net. Hey, go. Hey, ho. Jim, get off that net. Come on. Get off the pace. Get off the net. Come on. Here we go.
Earlier, Barry, I mentioned how other heavyweights didn't think as much of Tyson, with the apparent exception of Michael Spinks, who's given up his title so he doesn't have to fight him.
Get off that net. Get off that
Right
net.
now, he's making those heavyweights a little braver.
Come on, Mike. Back one step back, both of you. Here we go.
A lopsided and basically uninteresting fight.
The only interesting thing here is to watch Tyson and how he tries to deal with this. And I don't think he's dealing with it right. I mean, it's a frustrating fight. It's a hard fight. Smith just isn't there to be punched. But Tyson doesn't seem to be going about it professionally to try to break him down in some way. Punching to the body, perhaps.
I don't know if you heard Tyson say when he went back to his corner after the last round, he said he doesn't want to fight. There was a body shot. That was not a punch. That was not a punch.
Tyson got off the floor and looked at Smith with disdain, as if to say, are you kidding me? You think that's a punch? Smith's eye springs open again. Smith landed 2 decent left hands.
He took one right there.
Well, Smith instructed Smith to try to throw some uppercuts as Tyson comes in on him.
Get off that neck. Come on, go on. Get off the neck, Kim. You know better than that. Come on, get off the neck.
Strikes me as just that Tyson is just there so quickly that you just can't get set to punch.
I don't recall Tyson throwing any uppercuts in this fight. It appears to me that what Smith has been instructed to do is to hold his arms up once again so that Smith's roundhouse punches can't get to his head. And I think that he's got to go to the body and come up with some uppercuts in order to hurt Smith and land something solid.
All right, come on, one step back. Step back, come on, Smith. You're trying to come on.
I have a question, Barry. You think Tyson looks impressive enough to fight Tyrell Biggs in his next fight?
Step back. We have to fit line for games here. Doesn't have to. You keep holding. Come on.
Relatively, it makes Tyrell Biggs' performance look a little better, though.
Step back, Mike.
Tyson had a pretty good left hand there.
Step back. Here we go.
There was a straight left hand by Tyson. Tyson just unable to really throw too many combinations in this fight.
Go here. One more. 1 point here.
Another point being deducted for holding. Second time.
Mills Lane is trying to get them to fight.
Come on, King, go with me. Come on, here we go.
That uppercut by Smith was just a little short.
Step back. Step back, free. Come on, let him go. Step back. Here we go.
This is a sort of test of Tyson's concentration in a way. He's winning so easily that he doesn't want to make a very bad mistake and just get nailed.
And I'm sure tucked somewhere in the back of Mike Tyson's head is the Smith-Bruno fight, when Bruno came out of nowhere after losing the fight very similarly to this one to knock out Frank Bruno. Admittedly, Bruno is not Mike Tyson.
All right, get one back, one step. Guys locked in. One step back. Here we go. All right, one step back, both of you. Come on, get out of it. One step back, clean. Have the boy hook.
There was a right hand. Big right hand.
Come on, one step back. Come on, one step. Come on. Okay, wait, hold on. One step back. Okay, come on, one step back. Come on.
Tyson has been headhunting throughout this fight, and I don't recall him getting any instructions from his corner to stop it either.
No, in fact, the only instructions were jab, jab, jab.
To that show.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well,
And if we do, it would be.
Come on now, you guys. Let's go. It's box. Come on.
We wonder what they're going to take out of this for the highlights.
All right, one step back. Quick punching, Mike. Quick punching. One step back, Smitty. One step back. Don't touch.
Not Mike Tyson's fault. It takes two to fight.
One step back. One step back.
I just think Smith is so frustrated by Tyson, and was early on, that he just kind of said the hell with him.
He's been wearing a big cowboy hat around here all week, and right now I'd have to say he's all hat and no cattle.
Come on, one step back. Come on. Step back. Step back. Come on, step back.
Cut has opened up again over the eye of Bonecrusher Smith.
Come on.
I imagine Larry Holmes is sitting there in eastern Pennsylvania and thinking,
Step back.
well, if they come up with the money, I just might take a shot at this.
Yeah, that's the thing. A fight like this brings them all out of the woodwork.
George Foreman is
Step back.
starting his comeback on Monday.
Step back. Come on.
Point out that Bonecrusher Smith has only been down once in his career, and that was in his first fight.
Step back. Come on. Step back. Come on.
In his defense, Bonecrusher is apparently trying his best. That just isn't good enough.
This is your last round to Mike Tyson.
Step back. Come on, Mike. Step back. Come on, Smitty. Come on.
But there are, in fact, 2 to go.
Step head. Come on. All right, one step back. Come on. One step back, both of you. Come on, Smitty. Any more hit? Come on.
One thing I can tell you, Bonecrusher Smith tomorrow morning is going to feel like his face was hit with a bag of rocks.
All right, we'll step back. Step back, Jim. We'll step back, Mike. We'll step back. Here we go. Step back, Jim. Hold on. Step back. Here we go.
But Mike Tyson is a prideful athlete, and he really wants to look better. If he doesn't, it's just not there. Some days, an outstanding athlete or an outstanding team just doesn't have the opponent opposite that can make him do his stuff.
And that's certainly been the case tonight. I think the biggest thing is that we didn't expect it to be that way.
Yep.
Step back. Step back. Here we go.
There was a body shot by Mike Tyson, one of the few he's thrown.
He should have had about 50 more by now.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Boone. Oh, here we go.
That's a big difference between Tyson and Joe Frazier. Tyson has been compared to Frazier for obvious reasons. Joe Frazier was a murderous body puncher. He didn't care who he was in there with. He killed the body first, and the head will go. It's dissatisfying because prize fighting is drama and theater, and when you have a great athlete and you want to see him perform and tested, and he's not performing and he's not being tested.
All right, one step back. Make a last good round, you guys. Come on, one step back. Yeah, here we go. All right, step back. Come on. One step back clean. Both of them. Come on, step back. Here we go.
What we're going to start reading about and hearing about Tyson now is, come on, fellas, he's not as good as Ali, he's not as good as Frazier, and in truth, he's not as good as they are. He hasn't had the record to show it yet.
I think
But it's been said about every champion.
And it's been said about Mike Tyson by Mike Tyson also. He has said he's not great yet.
Joe Louis wasn't as good as Dempsey, and Ali wasn't as good as Louis.
Speaking of theater.
Well, we needed something. I didn't know that it would be comic relief coming from either of these kind of serious fellows.
Well, a minute and 15 to go in this one. Assuming we've kept you awake.
Tyson is trying everything he can to try to get in one good punch. They are being booed, and I imagine even Tyson is the target of some of them, but Smith should be the target.
On a theme of a barnyard cheer.
Well, they are yelling Tyson, Tyson. They want him to end this dramatically as well if he can.
There was a right hand by Smith. That actually backed Tyson up.
That was the best punch of the fight. We thought we would see that in the first 10 seconds, not in the last 10 seconds.
And it is over.
It was too late, was too little for Bonecrusher Smith. Where was that an hour ago?
And I'm sure that's exactly what Bonecrusher Smith is going to be asking himself. Well, styles make fights. That has been said on so many occasions, and that was the case here tonight. Only in this case, styles did not make a fight. And it was a dance in large part for 12 rounds. Tyson trying to do everything he could. Let's take another look at that action right at the end. And I'm sure Mike Tyson, the next time we talk to him, is going to say that was one of the hardest shots he's taken. It definitely backed him up. Here's another look at it. Smith coming from down around the shoe tops. A wild swinging and holding. That was pretty much the story of the fight. Winging left hand as you look from our up top camera. And there's a look at a face that is going to smart come tomorrow. Take a look at the numbers from this fight. Tyson, of course, much more active and much more accurate. As Bonecrusher Smith with only a 23.
Judge Lou Tabbitt scores 120, 106. Judge Jojo Guerra scores 119, 107. And Judge Dalby Shirley scores 119, 107. For the new WBA-WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
A popular verdict. At least the result was popular, not so much the way the result was attained. Larry Merchant trying to get his way over to the winner, and still the champion Mike Tyson, and he is with Mike Tyson right now. So let's go up to the ring and Larry Merchant. Larry, you got it.
Hi, Mike. You are now the WBA-WBC champion, the only heavyweight champion now in the world. Do you feel satisfied after that fight?
Well, I feel good, but I don't feel satisfied. But as you know, he was just trying to survive. I thought he was going to come out there and try to beat me up, like he said.
Well, you're going to try to win, he said.
Could you tell very early in the fight that he couldn't hit you with any punches? He was frustrated and he was just going to hold on?
You know what else I noticed? When I threw my jab, I was hitting him with my jab and I was hurting him with my jab. But I feel like, you know, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win at all.
Was there anything you think you could have done to break him down? For example, you went to the body very, very rarely.
I know. It was one of those moves I saw. I had one of those guys that would just try to throw one punch and catch me. And I knew guys like that would never hit me. And the last round, he hit me with a good shot. He was a hard puncher because I felt the punches on my arm and stuff. But like I said, I could take a good punch. And now I proved to everybody. In the last round, he threw a good punch, and I felt it, but I came right back.
After the first round and the second round, you had words. After the first round, you threw a punch at him, which is so uncharacteristic. Were you frustrated that early?
I wasn't frustrated, but inside, he kept trying to hold me, and he was trying to push his gloves in my face and fight dirty.
But you seemed to lose your cool generally because of what seemed like frustration and not being able to do what Mike Tyson could do best.
Well, you know, this I thought was a good fight for me because most of these guys are going to fight me like this. You know, these are supposed to be the best heavyweights of my day. And, you know, they have no respect. They say I'm a young boy. I haven't fought anybody. Now, what can Bonecrusher say? Is he added to the list of the bums I fought? Then if I didn't knock him out, he fought like that, that makes him a bum too. Ask him if he a bum. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win.
You're a student of fight history. Have other heavyweight champions, could you recall, have had fights like this?
Dempsey, most of Dempsey when he fought the guy in Montana. No, it wasn't
Gibbons.
A boring fight. Everybody else saw only the last round when Dempsey was looking great. It was a boring 15-round fight. Carpenter.
Can you find solace in that? Can you go on to the next fight? Everybody's going to say, well, maybe Mike Tyson isn't all that good.
Well, these things happen. But, you know, the thing that's more detrimental, when I go back in the gym and I go back home and leave the ring, I got to hear it from my trainer, and I'm waiting for it, and I know it's going to be murderous.
Well, Mike, You feel awful bad for a guy who did awful good and pitched a shutout, and is the only heavyweight champion in the world. Barry?
All right, thank you very much.